Good morning, everybody. This is Mark, and this is the AP edition of Finding the Angle. AP Advanced Placement, Deeper Look. I was forced to do this because of my oversight, which I'm happy that it happened, because where I left our matching the angle and finding the angle and all that was absolutely right on, but I forgot to say, we matched the angles with the delineations. 21 degrees on both sides, but that's just an indication. That 21 degrees that I found was a good match. This position, the sweet spot, forward, back, we went through that before. We got 21 degrees. For somebody using their sharpener in that manner, that they clamp it or clamp it with the screw, set the adjusters for this position, this is their 21 degree knife. It's 21 degrees relative to the setup for that position. It only means that in that position, you're calling that knife 21 degrees. That may or may not match what it measures with the cube in reality. See, the position and the triangle and the calculations and all that for wicked edge is these delineations match a bevel height 5/8 of an inch above the clamp, which is a pretty good amount of clamping height for small foldings, hunting folding knives. That's where this came from. They were outfitters, hunters that were using their knives to field dress their game. And their knives weren't lasting as long, and they wanted to find something, and it worked for that size knife. And the sharpeners developed, and now we're using them for all different things. So the delineations are based on that 5/8 of an inch. If you're at 5/8 of an inch and it says 20 degrees on both, and you put a cube on it, it's plus or minus about 1/4 of a degree for 20. If you want it closer, then you use a cube. Thus, where we are. I identified this knife with the clamping position. We found that, went through it together, matched the bevel so that the bevel is split. I have some marker above, marker below, means I'm pretty good in the middle for finding the position and a good place to work. And I call that 21 degrees. Relative to the device, relative to the clamp device, I neglected to say that's not 21 degrees. 21 degrees, that is a measurable, exchangeable, understandable angle. In order to actually identify this knife, that's where we're working with the cube. That's why I say AP Advanced Edition, because now we have to actually put a cube on it, how it was set at the 21 degrees, and read what that angle is in reality. And I checked, and it's lower than I had thought, but it came out to about 15.5 degrees on this side. How I started with 21, and that doesn't matter. That means that this is a 15 degree bevel. You can call it 21 for your clamping position, so you have a name, a reference, a place to start with, that you sharpened it at a 21 degree setting. You applied with wicked edge a 21 degree edge relative to the sharpener. We used the cube in order to actually know what the difference is in how the readings on the delineations correlate to that clamping position. To actually know that, that's when we use the cube. So this one's saying 15.4 degrees on this side and 15.13 degrees on that side. So this is where it gets interesting, and we're going to go to another video.